Alright, all you listeners to the madness out there, welcome back to Under the Radar. And now it's time for us to talk about what happened during the second half of this Extreme Rules like pay-per-view from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And the next match to take place during this said Extreme Rules like pay-per-view would see none other than Sasha Banks going one-on-one against the Empress of Tomorrow herself, Asuka, for the Raw Women's Championship. And immediately when I saw Bayley at ringside, I just let out a deep moaning sigh saying, oh, really? Really? You can't win the match by yourself, you gotta bring her at ringside? But luckily, a little bit of hope, we would also see the Pirate Queen herself, Kairi Sane, at ringside alongside with the Empress of Tomorrow. And during this match, we would see a sliding tiger knee to the face of Sasha Banks from the apron by Asuka. Then you would even see a slam over the turnbuckle post by Sasha Banks during this match for a near fall, and also cutting off the wind supply of Asuka during this match, which would give her enough of an opportunity to pull off a safety deposit box for a near fall. But then you would even see Asuka pulling off a beautiful elevated code breaker during this match with the assist of the ropes during this contest. Very impressive, but unfortunately could not go for the pin during that because in the later goings of this match, she would end up getting powerbombed almost Seth Rollins style into the glass by Sasha Banks. Then this match would immediately go into full Looney Tune mode when we would not only see Bayley trying to distract the ref by using the titles to throw into the ring, but only to get high roundhouse kicked by Asuka during this said contest, only for Sasha Banks to come from out of nowhere with a strike to the back of the head of Asuka, for Asuka to pull out a little bit of green mist, only for her to miss and hit the referee dead in the eyes, and for Sasha Banks to try to take advantage by hitting Asuka with the championship for her to get caught in the Asuka lock, only for Bayley to get back inside of the ring after disposing of the Pirate Princess with a Bayley the Belly on the apron, for her to hit none other than Asuka in the back with the championship. Then for her to take the shirt off the back of the referee, and I kid you not, would count the 3 in favor of Sasha Banks, and then would tell the referee to ring the bell for them to walk out with the championship that still belongs to Asuka, for, I guess, Sasha Banks to be your uncrowned women's champion via pinfall. Now, I said before, a lot of times with the things that happen in certain pay-per-views, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but they keep on topping themselves with the amount of ridiculousness that they keep doing. And this takes the cake. Somebody who's not even a referee taking the referee shirt off of somebody's back and can count a 3? What is this, TNA? And yes, they did do it in TNA at one point. I keep forgetting what match it was, but it's just as ridiculous as this was right here. But besides me getting angry at that ridiculous moment, here comes another one, in the form of Dolph Ziggler going one-on-one against the Scottish Terminator himself, Drew McIntyre, for the WWE Championship. Now, during this match, which the stipulations wasn't named until after the introductions of both Challenger and Champion, Dolph Ziggler would say that this match is going to be Extreme Rules. Alright? Now, for those who thinking that was going to be an Extreme Rules match for the both of them, wrong. Because next thing you know, Dolph Ziggler would pick up the microphone and would say, it's only Extreme Rules match for me, and if Drew McIntyre does anything out of the normal of a regular match, he will be stripped of the WWE Championship. Now, for those who are wondering what this reminds me of, a combination of what happened with Rhino versus RVD in the new ECW with RVD banned from doing anything extreme, or even the case where Eric Bischoff tried to do anything and everything to get the championship off the waist of one John Cena, back when he was general manager of Monday Night Raw. And you know, as a matter of fact, I think point, that's what we need now. General managers to stop the ridiculousness of what's going on television. But then again, hey, even though the odds were stacked against him, Drew McIntyre would still try to find a way. Because not only he would be able to do 2 nasty belly-to-belly suplex during this match, and would also be able to do a stalling suplex to avoid the table on the outside of the ring, leading directly into a disgusting spiral bomb for a near fall. But despite Drew McIntyre getting hit with a low blow, chair shots to the back, along with a concerto on an open chair to the throat, and even a shoulder shot with a steel chair, he would still kick out. Zigzag on a chair, along with a chair shot to the knee, still a 2. Then you would even see Dolph Ziggler try to do a super kick into an elbow drop to try to win the championship via countout. Drew McIntyre would still make it back to the ring via a 9 count. And then you would even see Dolph Ziggler so frustrated, he would pull off not 1 but 2 zigzags, 1 on a chair, still for a near fall. And would even say, "Why won't you die?" Proving that he was getting more frustrated than he could possibly imagine, even though the odds were all in his favor, and would try to go full Shawn Michaels to try to wrap this match up by tuning up the band for a little sweet chin music, only to get proven by Samoa Joe and by the new t-shirt that Drew McIntyre was wearing that he should have talked less and claimed more, because next thing you know, sweet chin music will get blocked, Claymore kick to the face, 3 seconds later, and an I can't believe it's not butter situation once again for Dolph Ziggler to not walk out for the championship, and Drew McIntyre to retain via pinfall. So yeah, he even had the rules in his favor, and he still lost. So, I don't know what in the world Dolph Ziggler has to do. I got a feeling he's gonna have to handcuff Drew McIntyre with his hands behind his back for him to win this match with those same rules that he just had. And I got a feeling he would still lose, because Drew McIntyre would run toward him with a Claymore kick and still kill him. Never, ever again will he hold that WWE or World Heavyweight Championship in his career. That's what this ultimately means. And the next match to take place and the main event for this ridiculous pay-per-view, folks, would see none other than Bray Wyatt going one-on-one against the Quilted Quicker Picker-Upper Braun Strowman in a showdown at the Swamp match. Even though I know it's a swamp fight, I'm calling it the showdown at Swamp, and I don't care what anybody says, because this pay-per-view is ridiculous. And during this said match, if you can call it such, you would see Braun Strowman driving up to the Swamp, being greeted by his former master or brother-in-arms Bray Wyatt, telling him welcome home before he disappeared out of the rocking chair, only for Braun Strowman to run into other people who are here in the Swamp in the form of, I guess, goonies or cronies or subordinates of Bray Wyatt, for him to dispatch them easily, only for him to get hit in the back of the head with a shovel by himself. Yes, that's right, folks. We went full Dagobah system with this match, with Braun Strowman having to fight himself only to get knocked out and told where in the world Bray Wyatt has been all this time, for Braun Strowman not to hear any of the noise that he was saying, for him to get bitten by a snake by Sister Abigail, only for him to find himself untied, unchained, beating the crap out of more goons in this big oversized swamp, only for one of the goons to get knocked into the fire, run around for Braun Strowman to laugh at what he did, for him to get distracted once again by another one of the tricks of Venom or from Sister Abigail in the form of Alexa Bliss, for Alexa Bliss to say, "Come on, Braun, come home. You know we always wanted to be together. Come home, Braun. Come home." only for Braun Strowman to buy that hook, line, and sinker and get the Living Daylights flag tag beaten out of him by Bray Wyatt with a fire axe handle, for Bray Wyatt to say, I didn't want to do this, brother. I didn't want to do this. We could have been together. We could have been a family, man. Only for Braun Strowman to stand back up like the monster he is, beat the crap out of Bray Wyatt, even chokeslam him onto a boat, for him to get shipped off to the swamp, only for that same boat that he sent out to come back almost Scooby-Doo style, for Bray Wyatt to continue his attack, only for Braun Strowman to get the better of him and Sparta kick him right directly into the swamp, for Braun Strowman to say, it's over. It's over. And then for the credits to pop up on the bottom of the screen for a Friday the 13th moment to happen, and Braun Strowman breaking the #1 rule in horror movie history, to never assume it's over. And why is that, folks? Because Bray Wyatt would Shanghai him right into the swamp, for him to gasp for air, then to disappear, for Bray Wyatt to appear, for him to gasp for air, and then for the screen to go all bloody red, and the Fiend to pop out of the swamp, for him to say, let me in. For Extreme Rules for this year to end in an extremely weird Twilight Zone Outer Limits fashion for this year. Yeah, they called it the horror show, right? And I got a feeling it's based on most of the horror movie remakes that really didn't do well in the box office. Yeah, it's my opinion. Just my opinion, folks. And join us next time, ladies and gentlemen, while we go into another pandemic pay-per-view, one of the big four, to wrap up the summer in the form of SummerSlam on August 23rd of 2020. And I cannot wait to see what sort of shenanigans WWE's got up their sleeves to try to make this pay-per-view the biggest party of the summer. And that was the tagline on this pay-per-view for several years, and I'll let it slide. But if it's anything like what we saw at Extreme Rules, I got a feeling we are in some big, big trouble, to quote Wycliffe Jean during the song 911. And with that said, folks, I think it's time for us to go grab a glass of water, and when we return, we'll be back with more of the insanity and madness that only Under the Radar can provide right after this. So don't touch that dial just yet, folks, and stay tuned.